hello. Welcome to WonderCon 2021 and our series of virtual panels. My guest today is the actor and novelist Thomas Lennon. First of all, let me say slancha to the muses who have put WonderCon together, and I just want to say that I am enchanted to be here with you. Fully enchanted. Really? That's neat, because you were an hour and 40 minutes late. So, about that. I blame the children, really. The children. Wherever I go, there's always so many children and little, or just diminutive, type of things, and they're always looking at me and they say, Thomas, tell us about your next novel, Thomas. How did you get your hair like that, Thomas? And the little diminutives, they want to touch me and, just get some of the sort of the vibe or the mojo that I have, and I always say, children, you can buy your novels just like anyone else, because they go for $17.99 in all of the stores. So the children, really. Okay, I do just want to say that it's a little bit weird, because when you arrived, you were alone. You weren't being mobbed by anyone, and you actually were being verbally abusive to that Uber driver. Should actually be negative stars for such a negative woman. Okay, so, well, so late, you were really unbelievably late. On behalf of WonderCon, welcome Thomas Lennon, creator of Reno 911, Lieutenant Dangle, a guy who's in I Love You Man and 17 Again, and the New York Times best-selling novelist of the Ronan Boyle series, the third of which comes out this fall and is entitled Ronan Boyle Into the Strange Place. Will you please stop? Am I positively the plumage of a flamingo? Am I? Because let me tell you this, you are creating the notion that I am some sort of Ubermensch, when this is not the case or manner in the slight. I am, in plain truth, a very simple boy from Oak Park, Illinois. I grew up, as many did. I loved to chase a ball. I loved to consider a tree. I spent many a day in Oak Park considering the trees, or even said stick. And I think a lot of people think that whatever this mixed up, crazy jambalaya of genius that I have going on, that could in fact come from the fact that as a lad, I spent many of my days on the L train platform, just singing poems to the local Chicagoans who would be coming and going from their work. You must keep in mind, these people were either hog butchers, many of them were sausage mongers, and I would see simple joy that a little boy in a frock could bring into their lives by singing a poem, and I knew I was going places. My notes, it says that you went to high school with Kathy Griffin and Michelle McNamara in like the late 1980s. And I mean, just from what it says, honestly, neither of them remember you either singing poems or there even being hog butchers or sausage mongers at the time at all, as it was the late 1980s in Chicago. They're on the record as saying that? You've checked that someplace? They said that someplace? Yeah. Let me say this, and I think this proves a maxim that we all, why I don't have a tramp stamp of this, I may never know. There are three sides to the truth, my friend. Your version, my version, and that ginger-headed harpy Kathy Griffin's version. Love you, Kathy! I'm sorry. So if you're from Oak Park, Illinois, why do you sound like that? What do I sound like? What? What do I sound like this? Oh, my queer fellow. I think you would find, if you did even the slightest bit of study, that this is very simply what people from the suburbs of Chicago sound like. I've always sounded like this. Most of the people I know went to high school with. For all these people, this is what we sounded like. If you do not believe me, I will tell you to go and do this, my friend. Have you heard of an author by the name of Ernie Hemingway?
I've heard of Ernest Hemingway.
So you're aware I abbreviated it to be cool to Ernie Hemingway? Well, let me tell you this, my queer friend. Ernie Hemingway and I are from 2 blocks away from each other in Oak Park, Illinois. And if you do not believe it, here's what I will tell you to do. Go and listen to Ernie Hemingway reading any of his famous books, and it will be like me listening to myself in a mirror.
Okay, I call BS. So, if you and Ernest Hemingway are basically twinsies, as you say, let me ask you this. Name a Hemingway book or short story or not or anything.
Name one Ernest Hemingway book. You throw a bon mot at me. Bon mot back at you.
No,
That's
do it.
silly. I'm not gonna do that. You just want me to. You're trying to trip me up. This is one of those it's a trip trap.
It's not what part of this could possibly be a trap? Just do it.
It's a trip trap, and you try to get me to say the name of my favorite Hemingway novel, which I'm not going to say.
No, do it.
Because it is very, very personal and private to me, and I like to keep the title of my favorite Hemingway book inside, in a locket of my heart.
You like to keep your favorite Hemingway book title a secret?
Yes.
And just to clarify, you're really a writer?
I'm actually a New York Times best-selling writer.
You don't know any Hemingway books, do you?
Of course I do. Of course I know a Hemingway book.
I don't think you do.
Ready? Oh, ready? Oh, so now you really want to trip trap me. Ready? The Old Menticity.
The Old Man and the Sea?
Exactly.
That's not what you said.
What did you say?
You said the Old Menticity.
And even if I said Old Menticity, do you know what that is? Old Menticity? That's the genius jambalaya. Words just dance around my cerebellum, and then they Bob Fosse their way doing a grapevine onto my teeth and out of my mouth. And now let's do this WonderCon thing, because I've actually got a heart out in 7 minutes.
You have a heart out? You have to go. Because you were an hour and 40 minutes late, and then you were
I was
berating
an hour
an
and
Uber
40
driver
minutes
when you
late
got here
because
in a
of
manner that
the
was not-
children and the diminutives, and everybody wants something from Tom.
Okay, well, happy WonderCon 2021. Let's get started. Since we have a limited amount of time, apparently, let's get right into the Ronan Boyle series, which I hear is also a film in the works at DreamWorks.
Oh!
Congratulations. Ronan Boyle is a book about a 15-year-old Irish kid who gets recruited for the special unit of Tir na Nog. What is Tir na Nog?
What is Tir na Nog? What a marvelous question indeed. And for this, we must turn to our silver-haired, foxed friend, William Butler Yeats, a man who I believe said, there are magical things all around us, simply waiting for our senses to grow sharper.
I don't know what you just said. I asked you what Tir na Nog is.
It's the place where leprechauns live.
Oh, it would have made way more sense maybe just to say that then, because that honestly is a pretty good idea for a book.
3 books, in fact. All of them, I should point out, and they make me point this out, all of the Ronan Boyle books available at Abrams. Harry Abrams Books and Candle Company.
Yeah, I know. I'm super aware of that because you in the notes you gave me the website address, and then you underlined it several times, and it says verbatim, please plug the Abrams Books website. It's the only way I can make the New York Times bestseller list again, and being on that list is like a drug I cannot kick. I want some more.
Exactly right. Oft we must express our feelings as specifically as possible so that others get our drift. And also I must say, Maggie and Stephanie, my two book sugar mamas, if I don't make the bestseller list this time, they get mad at me, and they're my sugar mama. It's a whole thing.
Okay. I just want to check. You're aware that Abrams does not make candles, right? Because you very specifically called it the Abrams Book and Candle Company.
But they do sell candles. I'm certain of that. The Harry Abrams Books and Candle Company, yes?
I'm 100% sure. Abrams is just like a book company. They do classy books. They do some art books. They do all of the Doug Kinney Wimpy Kid books. But they for sure, unless something has changed, they don't make candles at all. You seem upset by that.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought it was the Abrams Books and Candles Company. Did I? It must be two separate things. I was pretty sure there was some discount candles in my near future after writing 3 novels for these people. But wow, okay, candles are not their thing. Great.
Okay, well, so I'll tell you what. If I can get to just a couple of the questions, I will mail you a candle. How about that? Sound good?
Marvelous. I love it.
Okay. Here we go. So Ronan Boyle is a kid in Galway, Ireland, and he's an intern at the Garda. And Garda is the Irish word for police, and he gets called into a case and sent to an oubliette to pull a sinister leprechaun named Rory the Killer of Unicorns out of it. Wow.
Spoiler alert. Are you just going to give away all of the things that happened in the Ronan Boyle series? Because then, I don't get to charge $17.99 with the candle people for the book if you tell them everything that's in the book, and then I have to go back to being the handsome guy's friend in movies, which I just can't do it anymore.
Generally, you do tell people what a book is about to get them excited about the premise and everything, though.
Oh, really? You're sure about that? So you're telling me Ernie Hemingway told people what his books was about to get them excited about it?
Yes. In fact, not only did Ernest Hemingway tell people what The Old Man and the Sea was about, I believe he won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction for that.
Oh, to clarify, you're right now going to play the card Ernie Hemingway won the Pulitzer Prize for The Old Menticity, and as if you were saying,
yes,
I felt as if to say, you have never won an award, Thomas, have you? And the answer is tons of them.
You have awards for books?
I don't know. Would you call the MTV Best Kiss Award an award for books?
It actually says that you lost that award.
Who here has been nominated also, between Hemingway and me, for both an Emmy and a Razzie?
Yeah, you lost the Emmy and the Razzie, and the big question I would ask everyone is, why would you even brag about being nominated for a Razzie?
Because the heart is a curious captain of a tumultuous toboggan.
I really don't know how they got me to do this. I just don't know how they got me to, I can tell you how they got me to do this. They said, WonderCon badges for life. They said you get the badge in perpetuity. I said, okay, cool. I said, do I get to pick the author? They said, no, you do not. You don't get to pick.
Are you certain that I lost this Best Kiss Award?
Yes, you lost to the kids from Twilight.
That makes sense. Those two are like, they're like the Pyramus and Thisbe that we just can't get enough of,
How long did it take to write the Ronan Boyle novels?
That is the single stupidest question I've ever heard. You don't ever ask an artist how much human time did it take for you to create a masterpiece for which you will be loved and cherished forever. Because the answer is not in hours or minutes or keystrokes, okay? The answer is that the Ronan Boyle novels came out of every tree that I considered, and every poem that I sang to every hog butcher and sausage monger on that elevated train platform. And if I must tell you, it goes a little something like a song sung by Mandy Patinkin in a musical by Stephen Sondheim about Georges Seurat when he is painting Sunday afternoon on the Isle of La Grande Jatte.
It's like Finishing the Hat. It's like the song Finishing the Hat from Sunday in the Park with George.
Writing a book is so much like the song Finishing the Hat from Sunday in the Park with George, in so many ways, including that sometimes Bernadette Peters is watching you.
Are you on some kind of medication that I should know about, or?
Actually, I honestly don't know.
Is there someone who knows that you're here? Or does someone need to check on you, or?
Dr. Superman has a couple of things for me. There's a thing when I can't sleep. There's a thing when I cannot think of a novel, which is stressful because, there's a thing for stress. And then there's, the stress, of course. I'm on a Mobius of meds and probably ill-advised, but the novels keep coming.
But it's not just leprechauns that Ronan Boyle is up against. There's also lots of other Irish mythical creatures as well.
Oh my goodness, yes. There are chloricons, which is a slightly taller version of a leprechaun. There is the Fer Darig, which is a little furry red little creature with tusks, and he's up to mischief as well. There are Gankanaks, who are a fairy folk so beautiful that any human seeing them will instantly fall in love. There is a Dullahan, who is a headless horseman of sorts. There are Sheeries, Harpies, and it goes on and on. So many little weird weirdos.
And you made all of these things up?
Oh no! All of these creatures are very real. I do not work for the Irish government or the tourist board, but go to Ireland. Keep your eyes open. They're all there, and they're all in a smashing series of books called Ronan Boyle, available to you from the Abrams Book and Candle Company.
They don't make candles at all.
They're not doing candles. None.
Look, I read here that the Wall Street Journal called Ronan Boyle extremely funny.
What? Really? No, never. I did not know of this.
And the New York Post called these books the next Harry Potter.
Those scams at the New York Post, those awful racist scams, how dare they be so kind to me?
And then Michael McKeon from Spinal Tap called the Ronan Boyle books too Irish for indoor use.
That sounds accurate. That sounds very accurate indeed.
So, coming up with the books, you're in Ireland, right? Your ancestral home, and you're inspired to write this series about the creatures of myth and the antics of this teenage underdog with food allergies and social anxiety who has to police the mischief and the magic of these mythical Irish creatures. Is that right?
Yes, but it's not just that. It's not just that the novels are, as the Wall Street Journal said, extremely funny. They also have a very important plot. Because the plot's the thing, isn't it? Plot. You cannot have a novel like this without a terrific plot that drives you forward, yes?
Actually, Publishers Weekly said that your plots are pretty meh, even if the books are very entertaining.
And Publishers Weekly is not wrong on that. Good on you, Publishers Weekly. That pretty much checks out. And who are we if we cannot agree on the truth anymore, Michael?
Did someone tell you that my name is Michael?
I don't know.
Okay, so book one, Ronan Boyle and the Bridge of Riddles. Ronan gets recruited. He meets his first leprechaun and he studies to be an officer of the special unit of Tir na Nog with a character named Siobhan de Valera. Now, here's something I noticed. Are all of the names of the people in the books based on famous Irish people?
The Ronan Boyle series is the love letter to Ireland and Irish things. There's lots of little gems hidden in there. Siobhan de Valera, obviously named for the once president of the country. Collins House, where Ronan trains, is named after Michael Collins. Dolores Mullen is named for Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries. And of course, Fernley and Spider Stacy are both totally fictional people that are made up but named after some very real people in the Pogues who cannot sue me, because even though I use their real names, the Abrams Candle Company people put a bit at the beginning of the book that says all of these people are fictional, even if your name is Spider Stacy.
Okay, so where the whole idea come from for these books, these best-selling books?
I was standing in the Great Hall of Turin Castle in a county that is named also after my favorite thing on sandwiches, County Mayo. And I was at Turin Castle in County Mayo with Brendan, the proprietor, and his wonderful wench. And he showed me what a real shillelagh looked like.
Oh, and that would be like the stick of the Lucky Charms guy kind of thing, that little sticky thing.
Oh, no. No, that's what I thought a shillelagh was at once, too. The fact of the matter is the shillelagh, when Irish, of course, were under the heel of the British landlords, my people could not carry metal weapons, and so we fashioned shillelaghs. And it was this tiny little spark in Turin Castle, Ireland, that gave me the idea to write this series, which is basically about myself as an awkward 15-year-old with allergies trying to figure out his way in the world.
Neat. So I guess sort of what you're saying about in the books is there's hope for an awkward kid who's an underdog, who's got food allergies and social anxiety. A kid like that could grow up to be just like you.
That is a scary thought, isn't it? Oof. Yep.
Did you make a lot of money off the books? I mean, but some folks do make a lot of money on books, right?
Oh, did I make a lot of money on the books? Well, you know, the Abrams book and Candle people, some folks makes money. Jeff Kinney, Wimpy Kid guy.
Yeah.
Do you know that Jeff Kinney makes so much money with the Wimpy Kid series that he actually sleeps in liquid nitrogen to keep himself young and beautiful forever? He's never trimmed his nails, and he sleeps in nitrogen. And there's another one. There is a fellow who writes a series of books called Do Not Let This Pigeon Drive a Bus.
Mo Willems.
That's definitely not his name. I don't think it is. So whatever the name of the guy who writes Do Not Let This Pigeon Drive a Bus, do you know that guy, he has a different set of dentures for every day of the week. And look at me. Made the bestseller list. I just have these. You know where I got these? You want to know where I honestly got these? Kirk Cameron's yard sale.
Okay, so the second Ronan Boyle book, Ronan Boyle and the Swamp of Certain Death. What happens in that one?
The second book? The second Ronan Boyle book came out with a hilarious bit of timing. St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2020, which was a pretty funny day. And the world decided to celebrate by locking themselves indoors, and we never went anywhere else ever again for a long time. And Haley, my publicity witch, was very annoyed with me, and there was so many flights to rebook.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I could not follow your train of thought on that.
Oh, trust me, the last train of thought I was ever able to catch was on that elevated L train in Chicago full of hog butchers and sausage mongers, and I was singing my poems with them, and they were saying, "We are not hog butchers. We are lawyers. We work at the Chicago Board of Trade. Some of us are orthodontists." And I said, "You don't have to prove yourself to me, hog butchers, sausage mongers."
Okay. Verifiably not true, and proven, I think, by Kathy Griffin. That
Yes.
That's just a thing that you're making up. So, the new book, Ronan Boyle, Into the Strange Place. Tell us about your process when you jump into writing a novel like that.
Well, like all of the Ronan Boyle books, here's what I do. I, of course, go on a walkabout, a bit of an isolation period, and then I take all of the musings of my mind and I put them down in a first draft. And that first draft of my novels usually looks like, are you familiar with the game called Buggle?
Everyone is.
It's quite simple. So you shake the shaker around and then you set it down, and then that's what I do to Maggie Lerman, who was my publisher at the Abrams, the Candle guys, and I give Maggie this boggle piece, and I say bon chance, and she says, "Are there words here?" And I say, "Maybe go diagonally." She says, "Are there ideas?" And I say, "I don't know. You are so smart. You went to Harvard. You look and you tell me. If there is a novel here in this boggle jumble of sometimes just letters. It's not always words. It's certainly not phrases. A paragraph, if it's very, very lucky." And then I hand this over to her, and then she, who has a toddler, is very good with me, and she says, "Hey, New York Times bestselling author Tom, did you not want to give me a novel? Weren't you going to write a novel?" And I say, "I don't know." And then she says, "Don't you want to make Publishers Weekly a little bit proud of you? That you came up with a book that has paragraphs and thoughts and themes, and that will make some sense to some people and get you back on that New York Times bestseller." And then sometimes she doesn't brandish a weapon. There's a threat of violence if I don't make that list again. So she's great. She takes all the jumblings. I don't know how she does it. And then she gives it back to me, and it's a book, and I skim it, and I say, "Way to go, Maggie." And then I get into all of the beautiful artwork, which I do myself.
You do all of the artwork for the Ronan Boyle books?
I do all of the Ronan Boyle artwork, covers, illustrations. I do page numbers. Oh, of course, I don't use my own name for that, because people would be like, "Oh, this feels like a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. What is this man, Kanye West?" Which kind of, yes. So I've invented a completely fictional person by the name of John Hendricks.
No, now this is just not true, because John Hendricks actually is a real person with several successful books of his own. He did The Faithful Spy. He did Drawing is Magic. I mean, he's a big. John Hendricks is a very real person, and he's a very big deal. So it's not you.
Sure, if you would like to think that John Hendricks is a real person, fine. But I made him up. I also made up that he's from St. Louis, which makes him seem folksy. I gave him some fictional kids. I made him slightly better looking than me, which is like so stupid. Like, who would do that?
John Hendricks is a real person. I mean, he has a website. If you wanted, I could show it to you probably right now.
I love that you think that. That's great. It's not. So John Hendricks is not just a domain name that I bought at GoDaddy.com for a reasonable price. That's fine. Fun. We're having fun now. Well, amazing. And now, is this the WonderCon people said there would be a part of the interview at the end if I showed up on time, where I would get to sing just a little bit.
I did not agree to that part at all. Maybe I think the WonderCon people agreed that you could maybe sing, but
Who said that? Haley, the press witch? I'll punch her in the face. Did she say that? I was told I would be allowed to sing.
Okay, but very specifically, I don't have to stay for that part. I don't think so, right?
Well, I don't even care. It's better if it's just me.
Okay, I mean, that's fine, because actually I've got a D&D game at Brian Posehn's garage. I know you want us to plug it. Coming out very soon is Ronan Boyle, Into the Strange Place. Please don't this is a real WonderCon panel. Don't just do a commercial. Anything else you want to say about Ronan Boyle, Into the Strange Place?
Of course, I'm not just going to do a plug for the book, but I will just say this to the parents out there, especially to the parents of the Irish diaspora. If you do not give the Ronan Boyle books to your children, could you not have done better?
Okay, please don't.
Haven't they proven that the way that you show a child love is to give it books and candles and things that you can get from the web? Isn't that really what you should be doing?
Don't just guilt people into buying your book. Don't tell people they're bad parents just because they didn't buy your book.
That's not guilt. I'm not doing guilt. I'm just creating a hobgoblin in your mind. What if you didn't buy my books for your children and it became unlucky for them? Or you. I don't want to say it. I didn't hex you. I'm just saying. Buy the books. I can't do these anymore. Can I do the song now?
Well, this has been an amazing WonderCon panel. great to talk to you. Thomas Lennon, author of the Ronan Boyle series, which seems like a good idea despite the author. I've never met anyone from Illinois who talks like that, so that's pretty weird. I think he said he was friends with Hemingway, which is verifiably not true. There's no timeline that would ever support that. And as far as I can tell, the things that are true are John Hendricks is a real person. There is a book called Ronan Boyle, Into the Strange Place, that comes out from Abrams this year. And every other thing I think he said is provably untrue. But it's been a lot of fun. I think I got WonderCon badges for life. That's what they told me. And enjoy. I guess take it away.
This has just been the best WonderCon ever, really. I wish I could have touched all of you people. And then sanitized them right afterwards. And this one goes out from me to all of you. Of all the money I had, I spent it in good company. And all the harm I ever did, at last it was to none but me. And if it comes for want of wit, that you should something and I should schwitz, then raise to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Have a marvelous WonderCon, people. All of the Ronan Boyle books available at abrams.com. Abrams, books, and the world's finest candles.